Hello, everybody. Welcome back to DND404. I am your DM, Tony, and joined with me today, the other three inspirational quotes that I would put on my wall right next to Live, Laugh, Love, starting with the, "Oh, Jared."
What's going on, guys? Armos checking in, and my inspirational quote. I actually listened to this for years before I'd always start working out, just to get you, before I actually was able to get in the routine of going to the gym. And it's, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And it's this whole like story about a guru at a beach. It's a whole thing. Look it up. It's by Eric Thomas. He's a great inspirational speaker. But what about you, Dan?
Hello, everybody. My name is Dan. I play Minnis PebbleWalker, your tiny little swarm keeper ranger. And my favorite quote is one of my favorite quote masters of all time. That is Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, "To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded." Like oftentimes we get caught in the minutia of, materialistic side of success. And oftentimes we forget about, the people around us that love us and that appreciate us in this world. So never forget that. How about you, Alec?
My name is Alec. I play Drell of the Ashborn. And my favorite quote would have to be, "Most gamblers quit just before they hit a big." And that is from a degenerate gambler that I know. No, I'm just playing.
Minnis PebbleWalker.
Yeah, Minnis PebbleWalker.
That's amazing.
No, it'd have to be "You Missed 100% of the Shots You Don't Take" by Michael Scott, also by Wayne Gretzky. What about you? No elaboration.
There's a video I frequent from time to time when I'm down on my slumps. This quote comes from, maybe said before, but by Les Brown. "Don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality." It's a good quote I like to listen to every now and then. He's like an inspirational speaker, but he has a couple good stories that I think hit home pretty well. So that's fine. And now you know the deal. Before we do the recap, we're going to go ahead and do the rundown. And today's rundown is brought to you by J-Man himself. Period. There's no following statement after. I don't know why I edited sentence like that.
All right, guys. If you haven't checked us out on Apple Podcasts, if you haven't checked us out on Spotify, wherever you're listening to this, what I want you to do, hit a like button, hit the follow, give us some feedback, leave a comment, whatever you can. Give us some engagement. Let us know that you're liking it and what we can do to improve. Any of that will definitely help us out and let us know you care. And yeah, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you're at, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all those things.
We're trying to hit 1 billion followers. Easy.
1 billion. We're plateaued at 900 million.
Yeah. So
now you know the deal. We're gonna go ahead and roll for the recap where I roll a giant foam D4 half eaten by my bunnies, where I am number 1. 2 is Alec, 3 is Dan, and 4 is Jared.
I want you to do a big slow-mo windmill dunk.
There you go.
That's where it starts in front of you, does a full circle behind you, and then goes back into the hoop. And 1. Did he still miss the hoop?
No, he got it.
It looked like he missed it from the...
Got it.
It got in frame, too. He
throw it
never gets it
again.
in frame. That's impressive.
No, throw it again. That didn't even look very good.
It's a 2!
Hey!
Hey.
It's a 2!
On the last episode of DND404, the boys find themselves in the midst of combat against Cha Kathron and his band of worms. Drell finally decides to slice and dice his way out of the worm's belly. Minnis also makes his way back to the battlefield eventually and decides to fight it out with Cha. Armos continues to start blasting all the worms that are around him, and then after a little bit more combat, Drell deals the final blow with a nat 20. As they further explore the dungeon, they come across a bunch of holding cells with tree ants. As Minnis walks away, Armos decides to do the humane thing and put them out of their misery. Don't tell Minnis. Drell drank from the health fountain, and after a little bit more exploring, they found a green door that smells like death, which Minnis passed earlier. There was a riddle to open the door that led us discovering a few bodies, including Groff the Shapeshifter in Dillmore, the Bugbear from Arc 1, as well as Adelram Beckford. We also found the body of our arch enemy Golo, and that turned out to be the body we needed to open the door. Once we opened the door, we all got hit with a big waft of death that gave us some poison damage. We found a giant hole in the floor that looked like a mouth. We decided to ascend to the bottom, and then we took turns. So Minnis went first, then Armos, and then Drell. We also were all able to take a short rest, and as Drell was making his final descent, he was being stared at by giant eyeballs. And what do you know? We find ourselves back in combat. Bard, play that intro.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the world of Humbrea, featuring 3 first-time adventurers and 1 very patient DM. This is DND404. Fellas, boyos, welcome to session 138, where we pick up in the pits of despair, the trench of forgotten gods, as the 3 of you have descended down an organic, flesh-like hole exceeding over a mile long in depth as you come down to a large, cavernous, organic room filled with stomach bile and rot and acid. And as Drell mountain climbed his way down on jagged tooth and rusted chain, a large tongue comes whipping out one of the thin, long caverns, missing Minnis and snatching up Armos, dragging him away into the deep, dark depths of this cavern. As Minnis and Drell, the 2 of you are floating down from the hole in the ceiling in serious concern and looming danger. Staring at you is a large eyeball with a tiny black iris with bloodshot pupil, and you see that black iris becoming smaller and smaller as it looks like it's focusing in on you with extreme anger and prejudice. Minnis, Drell, what are the 2 of you doing? As Armos is whisked away.
Did we make it all the way down? Are we 30 feet up, 60 feet up? Where are we?
Yes, at the start of this session, the 2 of you have made it to the fleshy, cavernous floor.
Oh my god.
With Minnis, you're barely holding Drell due to his extreme weight.
Minnis, you can put me down now.
Okay.
Okay.
In front of you, this giant mound of flesh formed a hill, and in the hill, this eyeball reveals itself as it stares at you intently.
All right. Oh, look at Armos. Attack the eye, Drell.
You just want me to hit this thing?
I guess.
Okay.
If it fights back, come for us.
Okay.
Minnis wants to start running.
Minnis, go ahead and make a run action and begin to dash. Let me know how far you're traveling. Drell, as you take out your axe, we're going to move over to Armos. How far are you moving, Minnis?
All right, I'm going to cast a 3rd level, a Charlatan Stride as a bonus action, as Minnis shouts at Drell and flames erupt from my feet. And I take a dash action. So Charlatan Stride gives me an increase of 20 feet to my movement, and I do not get opportunity attacked on, which is nice. So I'm going to go 35 feet to the northeast, past this eyeball.
You see the eyeball shifts in your direction, narrows in, and then shifts back to Drell. It looks like it's just observing the 2 of you.
It takes 4 points of fire damage.
Ooh, that starts initiative.
Okay.
Everybody roll me initiative.
Well, technically, that's a sneak attack. 15.
2 11s, 15.
Net 20.
Minnis, as you charge down the hall, dealing 4 points of fire damage to this eyeball, that starts initiative. That was your action. Go ahead and make the rest of your movement on this initiative, and then we're gonna go to Armos.
Yep, so there's the first part of my movement. I make it 55 more feet to the northeast and end my turn as you just see a trail blaze.
We're gonna go ahead and move to initiative 20, which is Armos and a lair action. But before we go into Armos's initiative, Minnis, as you run down the hall with blazing speed, you see the tail end of Armos being dragged by this tongue. Just every corner you turn, you see him zip around the next corner, barely able to keep up. Armos, you are dragged into this large, cavernous room through this tongue as the tongue is coming out of the floor, and you see the flesh floor is opening and closing where it's moving, as if it's just one giant organic being, and it lets you go, and you go flying almost 100 feet into this room, as you bounce off the fleshy floor. You're going to take bludgeoning damage here as you're going to take some fall damage from that initial attack. You're going to take 25 points of bludgeoning damage as you are hurled into the room, into this wide, cavernous open space with pits of acid that looks like stomach acid. It smells like rot and bile. And you see the tongue slips back down into the fleshy floor, closing up on top of it. And you see in front of you through the darkness of the cavern in the most northeastern part of this cave, you see the flesh begin to mold in front of you. You see this massive mouth coming out of the wall with the same tongue that dragged you, with these giant pillars of spiked teeth and one eyeball staring at you, bloodshot with a small black iris honing in on you. And it laughs in a guttural laugh. Your bodies will break and your blood will boil. From your corpses I shall scold perfection. And as it says the word perfection, you see a wide smile begin to grow, wider and wider and wider, as you are staring at one of the prophets that you've seen on the bridge. You know, instantly recognizing with the chains coming through the wall, and the acid dripping from its mouth and floor, and the giant pits of stomach bile sprouting up like little geysers. This is Lord Zaketh, the prophet of flesh and army. You know this as the Seabricks prophet. You move to initiative 20, which is you, Armos, as you are now just getting up off the floor as Reginald falls to your wayside after being hurled into the middle of the room, and he's dusting himself off. Like, what is this place?
Okay, just to make sure that I'm understanding what he looks like. Does he have chains all around him, or are the chains not part of the actual face of him? Or are the chains just all around?
They're all around. They're in the floor. They're in the walls. They're going through his face. You see them hanging loosely. You also see like whole chain links in the ground, like piercings.
I'm gonna get up after being flung, instantly see that guy and be like, nope, and immediately Eldritch blast it, and then move 30 feet away from it as I try to get back to them boys.
Go ahead and roll a hit as you shoot an Eldritch blast towards the fleshy wall where one of its eyes and mouth as it's laughing at you and chopping its teeth.
25 to hit.
It's
17?
Misses.
How about a nat 1?
Definitely misses.
And a 30. 22 points of damage.
Ooh, very nice.
It's slowed by 10 feet. It's pushed back 20 feet. And I run 30 feet the other direction. Guys! That'll be my turn.
We're going to stay on initiative 20, which is a lair action. And you see that the mouth receives the Eldritch Blast, and it begins to murmur to itself. And it taunts you. There's so much spirit, so much waste. I will fix this. And he begins to shriek and warp, and the tongue begins to shrivel as you are going to make a Constitution saving throw of a DC 20.
I got a 9.
On a failed save, you are now poisoned. You also gain 1 level of exhaustion. While poisoned this way, the target must repeat the saving throw at the start of each of its turns. 3 successful saves ends the poison, and ending the poison removes any levels of exhaustion caused by it. Each failed save by the target adds another level of exhaustion.
Oy.
And you're gonna roll me a D100.
Oh, hell yeah, loot table, let's go.
72.
72.
That's my favorite number.
As you begin to run, you begin to swell as you begin to blow up and get fatter and fatter and fatter. You are now triple your weight. You are fat, Armos. Whoa. Bubble and boil, mix and blob. I will make you bigger and fatter and fatter. As it begins to continue to taunt you.
What's up, Lardmos?
Lardmos.
Wow.
So you now have a level of exhaustion and you are poisoned. We're going to move to initiative 15. Minnis, what would you like to do?
All right. I'm going to go 55 feet with my movement, and then dash with an action, and go another 55 feet as I make it to the thinning part of this tunnel leading into this big room. And I think I barely see Armos in the distance. I'm coming, Armos! Oh, does he sound different? Is that him?
You see Reginald, Armos, you also see that Reginald is mimicking your body weight, and you see that Reginald is also really, really fat. Wobble like, Armos, I'm coming, Armos. You see that he wobbles towards you, like a penguin.
Nice. And then there's nothing else that I care to do with a bonus action, so I'll end my turn as I'm running towards him.
As we move to Drell's initiative.
Nice. Okay, so Drell is going to just kind of look at the eyeball and then look up at the hallway and then look at the eyeball and then look back at the hallway Minnis took off in. He's going to just say, well, okay, I guess we'll see if this works. And Drell's just going to pull out his axe and he's just going to try to hit the eyeball. That is going to be a 26 to hit. Nice. It's going to be a 21 to hit.
Hits.
And lastly, 29 to hit.
Oh, and while Drell is doing his calculations, I made a slight mistake. It's not a lair action. It was a legendary action. I did the warp.
Oh.
My mistake. Legendary action, not lair action.
Hey, man, I appreciate if you don't talk during my turn, okay?
That's totally valid. Valid. It's a valid request.
76 damage.
Oh my lord. You slash across his eye as you see a nasty gash go from corner to corner, and you see that it begins to squint. Armos, you hear the mouth shriek in horrific pain, and the three of you feel the walls begin to shake and rumble. Minnis, the hallway that you're in immediately tightens in pain and squashes up against you. You're going to make me a Constitution saving throw of a DC 18 as the walls smash together for a moment as they constrict.
Could be dex save. What's the save?
18.
Oh my god, a 20. Unnatural.
You will take half.
Thank goodness.
Half of 26 bludgeoning damage. And you hear this glass breaking shriek.
The Sids kind of block me from some of the damage. I'm like, oh, thanks, guys.
You see some of the Sids like pebble off you. It's going to take a legendary action at the end of your turn, Drell. You see that as it shrieks, a little tiny vein comes out of the ground with a hole at the end of it, and it spits on you. Make me a dexterity saving throw over DC 20.
Just because I get to roll these with advantage. 22.
You take no damage as it misses you.
Parkour.
A lob of mucousy bile shoots past you, and it smells horrific.
Oh my god.
And we're going to move to initiative 7, which is the creature. And you see as this eye shrieks in pain, you see that it forms back underground into the fleshy floor. We're going to go back to the main cavern. As Fat Armos is walking away, you see that the main face that appeared seeps back into the wall. And before you, as you run towards the entrance in which you were dragged in, you see this massive mouth erupt.
Goodness.
And you see another eye appear out of the wall from the eastern side of the cave, and it looks like the eye is being protected by another mouth. That's going to be its movement as you see chains begin to come out of the floor and its mouth. Armos, you're going to get attack made against you. Natural 1. Again, we're doing this. A second attack is going to be made against you. A second natural 1.
Wow.
Are you serious right now? Are you serial right now? Okay, and for its third attack, a 24.
That hits.
And this is going to be 22 points of force damage. As a chain burst, you see all these chains like pillars come from different angles on the ground, and then one bursts out in front of you as it uppercuts you. It goes and connects to the ceiling and then seeps back through the ceiling as it disappears. You take 22 points of force damage. That is going to be the end of its turn, as now there's this giant mouth in front of you, blocking your way, as is like it looks like a hill with teeth coming out of it. You move to initiative 20. Armos.
Okay.
Remember, you're dangerously overweight right now. You are big and fat.
That doesn't hinder me because you can live a normal lifestyle like that. Okay, thank
Absolutely,
you very much.
but mechanically, you are triple your weight. So if there's any spell that deals with weight, You must triple that with however you manipulate yourself.
And what did the mouth that's in front of me came up and hit me? Is what you're saying?
No, it appeared before you, but chains came out from the ground and through the mouth, attacking you 3 times.
Gotcha.
And one of them hit. Oh, make me a Constitution saving throw on your turn.
15.
You fail. DC 20 Constitution. You're gonna take another point of exhaustion here.
Fuck, Armos gonna die. I need to get to him.
Legacy speed's halved. Okay. I am going to run to the side of him, which shouldn't take an opportunity attack. So I'm kind of shuffle around him. There's pits of acid all over the place, and I shuffled to the south side of him. I think I'm gonna Misty Step away from him, closer to the southern part of the room, closer to the entrance, but away from the guy.
Sure.
Hold on, Reginald. Here we go.
I'm coming. You head south and you go between this giant cavernous pit of stomach acid and bile and this magnificent hill of a maw, and you Misty Step in between them to try to gain some safety. We're gonna move to initiative 15 minutes. After just being crushed from the closed-in wall, regaining your composure, you see Armos deep in the room running for himself as he is largely oversized and this giant maw that looks like it's chasing after him, roaring into the cavern.
I run 55 feet, more fire coming in, and I run in and I see this giant mouth and I see this big horned creature and I yell, "Are you okay, sir? Have you seen my friend Armos come in here?"
It's me.
What? What happened to you? Oh my goodness. You should rub some of that special ointment we have on you. You look terrible.
What ointment?
We have the ointment
The
still.
restorative ointment that we got back in our... Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to sling some bullets at this guy.
Oh my, did I forget him? Oh man, wow. I mean, I knew it all along. I'm a genius DM, yes.
I'm going to attack this guy with my sling bullets. So that is going to be... kind of low. That's going to be a 19. Oh, thank goodness. And the other one's higher than that, so that also hits.
Okay.
If you want to know, it's a 22. That's going to be 18 plus 11 is 29 points of force damage. And I'm going to have my SIDS move me 5 feet further into the room as they all pop up from this fleshy floor, and they will give me partial cover. I'm going to use a bonus action spell. I am going to use my last first level slot to cast Healing Word on Armos as he gets 7 points of health back.
Oh my gosh, 7 points.
As I end my turn. Get over here, buddy!
As you end your turn, you feel like you're being stared at as the eye on the eastern wall narrows in, as you see that its iris becomes triangular, then square, then circle again, as you are going to make me a Constitution saving throw with DC 20, as you feel the molecules inside your body begin to shift and shape differently, as the mouth in the center of the room screams at you, "Fuse and rise, children. Be born again in agony."
This is not going to go well for Minnis. Oh my goodness, a 22.
Ooh, you feel as your body begins to shift and shape as you pass.
So lucky. That's such a small chance to pass that.
You think that just for a moment, your vision blurs as you saw like your body shape in your mind's eye, where like your hand became a crab claw and like your foot became like the fin of a dolphin, and then you snap out of it and you are completely fine. And you feel like this faint glow about you. You are immune to this feature moving forward.
That won't work on me! I'm a holy son of a Minotaur!
Impossible! Impossible!
I would have rolled a 95, by the way. All right, Drell.
Yep. Now we move to Drell's initiative. Staying on initiative 15, we move to Drell.
Is the eye still in the room with me?
It is not.
Okay, so it's safe to say this room's empty.
Yes.
Rad.
Let's say it like that.
Yeah, it's the way you said it. All right. So I'm going to pull out one of my quick thistle. It's actually my last one. my quick thistle brew, and I'm going to drink it. It gives me 15 extra feet of movement per hour, so now I am at 45 feet, and I'm going to take a dash action down the hallway 90 feet to try to catch up to Armos and Minnis.
You go into this thin hallway and you feel it, you see it warble and pulsate as you go through, as you feel like as if the tunnel's reacting to your footsteps. You see all these little pockets of bile and stomach acid deep within the cavernous organic tunnel.
I'll bonus action move the +3 attack to +3 AC.
At the end of your turn, you see one of these veins pop out and begin to pulsate green and then spurt another spray of bile at you. Go ahead and make another dexterity saving throw, DC 20.
I do not get my Indomitables back at a short rest. That is a 6.
You're going to take 33 points of acid damage.
Ow!
We move to initiative 7, which is galore. And it is going to scream and cause a fuss. It shouts into the room. A crystal speaks through me, through sinew and screams, and I am his choir. You see all these veins come out in chains. Minnis, you're going to take 2 attacks here. Natural 20 on a chain attack.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So let's do that one first for damage. That's going to be
I don't want to.
45 points of force damage. In the first attack. The second attack is going to be a 19 to hit.
No, miss. Thank goodness I moved myself. I was debating.
Oh, because yes. So you have partial cover here. Cool. That's from your SIDS, right?
Yeah.
That's why yours is cool. And then Armos, you're going to take the third chain attack, which is a 19 to hit. That's going to deal 24 points of force damage. You're going to make me a dexterity saving throw with DC 20 as the mouth squirts and spews bile onto you.
Yep, a 5.
That's going to be 29 points of acid as it spits on you. And we're going to move to your initiative almost, where you're going to make me another Constitution saving throw at the start of your turn.
21.
You pass. You do not gain a level of exhaustion, but you are still poisoned. 2 more, and it stops.
Sweet. And this thing is still in the middle of the room. The
mouth is in the middle of the room, yes.
Perfect. I'm annoyed that I'm getting exhaustion, and I just want to spread the love, so I'm going to cast Sickening Radiance on the mouth that showed up in the middle of the room. It has to make a Constitution saving throw of a DC 19. So go ahead and roll that for me.
It rolled a 16, but it's going to use a legendary resistance and choose to pass.
How fucking dare you?
This
Okay,
guy.
that's okay.
I'm an absolute loser, dude.
Good news is that it stays there, and it's going to be 30 feet, and every turn he's going to have to make that unless he moves his sorry butt. So when a creature moves into the spell area for the first time, or it starts its turn there, so on its turn it will have to do it again, the creature must do the Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
So if it does pass, it doesn't take any damage. So I'm going to use the rest of my movement to try to run away. Heavy shuffle over towards Minnis as I'm trying to get down that hallway that he came from.
Go ahead and make me another dexterity saving throw with DC 20 as another vial of spit spews at you. It takes a legendary action.
I got a 19, but I'm gonna use Dark One's Luck.
Okay, so that's an automatic pass,
Yeah.
and it does. You take no damage as the spew goes past you. And then we're gonna move to initiative 15, which is Minnis.
Armos, use the ointment. And I'm gonna.
I got a plan.
Okay.
Revenge is my plan.
I wouldn't go back that way. Yeah, I say to Armos as I point into the thin hallway. And just so we're not in like the same area, I'm gonna run 55 feet to the north, maybe drawing a little more attention to me instead of Armos. You never know. And shoot some sling bullets at him. That's going to be a 22 and a 29.
Those both hit.
As I hit it with sling bullets, I also notice in that direction an eyeball
Yes,
at the far end of the room staring at me.
That's where. Yes, remember
Goodness.
when they try to warp you? Yeah.
My.
Leering through the darkness.
And with a bonus action, I will do nothing. As I am enamored of this eyeball on the other side of the room.
As this eyeball, it blinks at you by the mouth closing around it and stares at you as you stay on initiative 15 and move to Drell.
Drell is going to take another dash action and continue down the hallway another 90 feet. And he's just going to keep, come on, Drell. Put a little hustle in it. Like kind of just trying to hype himself up. And he is, just going to continue his way down the hallway.
At the end of your turn, you see that trailing behind you, trying to sneak up on you, is the tongue from before.
Oh my God.
Minnis, from your perspective, you see the tongue like swallows in the massive mouth that you're staring at and appears behind Drell. Drell, make me a dexterity saving throw or acrobatics.
He's good at these. Especially saving throws.
It's a 19.
Okay, you beat a -2. You see that the tongue tries to grab you out from the darkness, and you jump over it as this tongue looks like it's chasing you. As we move to initiative 7, which is the foul creature. So at the end of its turn, it needs to make those saving throws, right, Armos?
When a creature moves into the spell area for the first time, or it starts its turn now.
Okay, it rolled a 25 for a Constitution saving throw. You see that the mouth seeps back into the floor. The eyeball seeps back into the wall. You see another eyeball appears in the northern end of the room.
I know that eyeball.
And then almost in the original position, towards the northeastern part of the room, is the giant mouth and eyeball again, the one that was originally talking to you, Armos. As it snaps its teeth and roars. And then it's going to make a series of attacks as chains burst through the floor. One's going to come after Drell.
Oh, God.
16 to miss.
Yep.
One goes after Minnis for 25 to hit. That's going to be 15 points of force damage. The one goes after Armos with a 29 to hit. And that's going to be 30 points of force damage. That one rolled really high.
Yemeni.
Minnis, make me a dexterity saving throw of a DC 20 as a vial of spit gets shot at you.
Easiest roll of my life. 22.
You pass as it spews behind you as you feel the ground warble as the sickening radiance begins to seep into that area. And you notice that the giant pits beside you, Armos, as it moves to your initiative, begin to bubble and boil next to you as the caverns down below seem to be reacting to something. As you move to initiative 20, Armos.
Well, now that it's gone, I was really excited to do something, but this is frustrating. So I take Minnis's advice and use restorative ointment, which gives me 2d8 plus 2 hit points, but it cures poison and any disease that I have.
So here's what's gonna happen. You are no longer poisoned. You keep your current 2 levels of exhaustion, and you are still triple your weight.
Do I make the Constitution saving throw at the beginning of my turn or at the end?
Beginning.
So I got a 9 for this turn, which isn't gonna work. So then insert ointment. So Armos sits there and vigorously rubs ointment all over his jowls.
You feel its laser focus zoom in on you almost as it's going to cast a spell as a legendary action. You're going to make me a charisma saving throw of a DC 21.
23.
Woo!
You can't break my mind.
You pass as it tried to cast Hold Monster on you. You are not paralyzed, but you feel its arcane tendrils try to seep into your mind for a second as it attempted to paralyze you as you move to initiative 15 Minnis.
Actually, Armos was trying to break your Riz. As I move, I'm just going to go 55 feet to the north and start attacking the eyeball. I recognize you. I saw you back in the other room. And I roll to hit it. Ooh, 16.
Yo, children of maggots under his greatness.
Oh, goodness. 16 and 15.
Those both miss
Rough.
as it bounces off its calloused skin around the eyeball.
Stay over there. I'll come get you. And I'll end my turn. Actually, as a bonus action, I guess I should use a potion. I'll do that. So I'm going to use a potion of greater healing.
And make me a dexterity saving throw of a DC 20 as more spit comes at you.
17.
You're gonna fail as you take 28 points of acid damage as you are spewed as you stay on initiative 15 and go to Drell.
All right. After just dodging the tongue, Drell's just gonna yell at the tongue, "Stay away from me!" And he's gonna keep sprinting 90 feet.
It warbles at you.
Yeah, so I can just about make it to Armos. So I just run up to Armos and I just say, "Armos, what the heck is going on?"
Don't judge me.
Oh my God, Armos. I keep telling you, you need to wake up early with Minnis and I, and you need to start doing the workouts. This is what's gonna happen.
I put the ointment on, and I'm still rubbing it all over my like arm. Still has some flab on it that I'm rubbing it on.
These are some high calorie hay. And what else you doing on your turn?
I think that is it right now. Yeah.
At the end of your turn, you feel its gaze focus in on you as you are going to make me a Constitution saving throw with DC 20. As you feel your body begins to shape and shift and move and tingle.
23.
You feel yourself, looks like your hands are about to blow up like balloons, and then come to as you grip a tight fist, as you are now immune to this ability.
Nice.
As we move to initiative 7, which is which we will call Galore for the remainder of this fight. Each of you are going to take a chain attack as chains burst through the floor. Drell, 27 to hit. Armos, Nat 20.
Oh, me.
Minnis, 26. Let's do Drell first.
I burned my reaction with my dragon's tail, and I now have 32 AC, so it misses.
32 AC. Yeah, that's gonna miss. So we're gonna go to Minnis, because we're gonna do that last. Minnis, you're gonna take 20 points of force damage as a chain whacks you across the face. And Armos, you are gonna take, that one was kind of low, 44 points of force damage.
Kind of low.
As a chain, comparatively to what it could have been. You see that as a column of chains rises up and slams down on you like a crushing building.
All right. I'm going to use Hellish Rebuke on...
Yeah.
Whoa, he's not in range, though.
Oh.
All right, well, cool.
Don't
Never
put me
mind.
out there. Don't put me out there. I can't get over there. I can't go. This is too far.
This Reginald's like huffing and puffing. And it's going to make one last attack. It's going to spit at Drell. Drell, make me a dexterity saving throw with DC 20.
Huh? Oh, you're just mad because I dodged the first one. That's a 16.
33 points of acid damage.
Ow!
The flood of spit begins to seep under the plate off.
Stop spitting at me.
No.
And then we're going to move to initiative 20. Armos, how you feeling?
Not great. I got him right where I want him. Just to make sure I understand this. So the eyeballs are at the very end, north of us and east of us, basically.
Yeah, remember that giant cavernous open space that you wanted, that you asked for, and I gave to you? Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Perfect. See? Got you where I wanted you.
I didn't hear no bell.
Right. I am going to bonus action drink a potion first off.
Good call. Good call.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do that one. real
Good
quick.
move. Good move.
Big brain.
Like Family Feud over here, where they're like, good answer.
Yeah. Except when it's not a good answer. They're like, what the fuck? And they still gotta be supportive.
I got 24 life back.
Name a name that starts with an H. Jose.
Great
And
answer. Great answer.
Yeah, the family's clapping. Great answer. And like, what?
I would roast my family members so hard. if they did
Bro,
that.
I would never let that person ever live that down.
I am going to use a spell that I've been saving in my back pocket, and I feel like it's about that time. And I bust out my book. I flip to one of the final pages in the book and cast True Polymorph on myself.
What are you turning into?
Armos feeling very exhausted, overweight, and bloodied. Armos, who's exhausted, bloodied, and even furthermore, super overweight, is now really at his last wits of about him. He flips to the back of the page of his book and casts True Polymorph to summon himself into a Balor demon. I'm not big and fat anymore. I've got wings. I've got a kind of lightning longsword, and I have a whip made of fire.
You see, as you transform into this fire-ish, hellish demon from Avernus, as your fire whip crackles and snaps into the cavern cave as the flesh walls and floor are singed from its mighty, ferocious, fiery roar. The galore speaks, and he goes, "You bleed beautifully. I shall keep your skin warm for its next spawn as you transform into something even more beautiful."
Do I get my turn as this, or I'm assuming not, because...
No, that is your action.
Okay, can I move?
Yes.
Got 80 feet of it.
And I get to move as this guy.
Yes. You have 40 feet of speed, and you have fly of 80 feet.
So I'll fly 80 feet north to the eyeball.
What is that?
Yeah, Drell runs in. Hey, Armos. Oh my God. He just sees him polymorph and fly away.
Reginald heavily climbs up to Drell's shoulder. Drell, you feel significant weight on your shoulder as Fat Reginald sits there. He's beautiful. I've never been more proud.
As I'm flying towards the eye, I give Reginald a thumbs up and point to the wings on my back.
I remember my first set.
Yeah, how many does he have?
He has 2.
Oh, sick.
And then land with a chunk.
Chonk. As he moved to initiative 15, Minnis.
All right, moving 55 feet up to this eyeball. Maybe if we get closer, Sid, we can hit it easier. And I guess just to see if this does anything, I'll go invisible with a bonus action.
So, Minnis, as you go invisible, you see the eye not only still trained on your location, you feel it narrow on your position. As you see the iris zoom and lock in.
Sid, I don't think this is working. Okay, let's attack. Yeah, just gonna throw some singlets.
As you see more blood rush into the white of its eye.
I don't think you like that. That's gonna be a 21.
It's
A 24. As it takes 14 plus 17. Oh, that's 31 points of force damage.
ooh.
As the Sids are also gonna do another 3 points of force damage. Ooh.
Ooh. As you see the eye reacts, you see the whole cavern squishes in. Nobody is crushed, but it gets like 30 feet tighter and then begins to unload. And you notice at the center of the rooms, the 2 acid pits were clenched together and then erupt. Everybody make me a dexterity saving throw of a DC 20 as acid is spewed like a geyser from these mouths.
Oh.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
Minus salutes.
I got a dirty 20. If I get +2 for the dexterity.
Yeah. Anyone who fails, which I think is just Minnis, takes 37 points of acid damage. As you are completely soaked in this bile, as the eye regains consciousness.
I'm gonna use a reaction then. And I'm gonna use a 2nd level absorb elements to have that.
Does acid fall
Sure does.
in absorb elements?
Get wrecked. Finally, you're always using poison and I can never use this.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, okay.
Finally, you're like acid. I was like, thank goodness.
I typed in absorb acid like an asshole. Absorb elements.
That's good. That's good. Oh, man. Oh, that's going to help a little.
Cool. I mean, hey, listen, more power to you. As you absorb the acid, as we move to initiative, stay on initiative 15, Drell.
Okay. Looking around, is there anything for me to Drell smash? Like, something like a tentacle or a tongue or...
For what you can see visibly, because even this room is so large that even the darkness of like the walls are blocking out some things in your vision.
Okay.
So you just see that one eyeball all the way at the end. But I'll give you this for free. You notice that every time it makes a movement, it just completely changes position.
Am I still standing on like the fleshy ground?
Yes, this whole area is made of flesh.
Okay. Drell looks at his axe and looks at the ground and he shrugs and he just says, worth a shot.
I was
and
thinking
he
this
just
too.
he just tries to hit the ground.
Roll for damage.
roll for damage.
It's gonna hit the ground. You can't miss it.
Wait, the sickening rage should have hit then too.
It was going to until you dropped it.
That's 82 damage.
82 points of damage. As you're slashing into the ground, you see that the blood, like this blackened blood, is like spewing up at you with each hit. Like you're trying to chop a tree down or weaken the ground like a jackhammer would. You feel like you're doing something. As hard as you're hitting, you don't think it's as impactful as it should be, but you definitely feel like it's doing something as the floor is like shaking, almost like a waterbed beneath your feet.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. And that, I think, is going to be my turn.
We're going to move to initiative 7, which is Lore. As the eye in the corner that was bloodshot on Minnis after being shot seeps back. The face in the back gains its second eyeball back and seeps back in. And then you see in the southmost part of the room, an eyeball appears. And Drell, beneath your feet, a massive mouth opens like a trap door. Make me a dexterity saving throw as you are falling into this massive hole.
Of?
Teeth.
Yeah, I meant the saving throw, but thanks, man.
Teeth.
He says.
Teeth is the saving throw. I'm sorry. Dexterity saving throw with DC 18.
Oof. We're not still blessed, are we? Okay, I'm gonna have to. Do I have any luck points left? That's a great question. I do not. Damn. It's at 15.
You fall real deep as you fall deep down, and the mouth shuts.
Oh god, this I have a feeling it's not good.
I rolled low. You take 46 points of piercing damage as the mouth slaps shut and molds back into the ground.
Oh my god.
Armos and Minnis do not see Drell on the map.
Oh,
He is out of view, and the mouth goes back into the ground. Minnis, you're gonna make me a dexterity saving throw with DC 20.
no.
Armos is going to take 3 chain attacks.
12.
A 31 to hit, wow, a 32 to hit, and a 18 to miss. First attack is going to do 29 points of force damage, and an additional 13 points of force damage. And then you hear from guttering as the whole area shakes.
So tasty, so tender and new. I will reshape him in his image and add him to the endless onslaught.
As you feel like he's savoring Drell. As we move to initiative 20, Armos.
It's Baylor. Thank you.
Baylor Armos.
I'm going to fly to the eyeball to the south with my 80 feet of movement. As Baylor slams down onto the ground, aura emanating fire all around him, he's going to then take a whip attack. Multiple whip attacks from a 30 feet reach,
Whoa. Goodness.
which is just in range of this stupid eyeball. It says I get plus 14 to hit, which was be a 21.
Yep.
Okay, and then the second hit.
You can only do one whip attack.
What? Why? I have multi-attack.
One with its longsword and one with its whip.
Oh, yep, you're right, 100%. Okay, so just the one. So it does 32 points of damage, slashing, and then 12 points of fire.
As you slash through the eye, it immediately bursts.
Oh.
As you are covered, or actually the spew lands just before you.
Can we do the second part of it being even cooler? Because I actually get to pull it.
Yes.
So I whip the eye, and actually it gets tangled behind the eyeball, and I rip it out in front of it. And I pull it towards me 25 feet.
The connecting part of the eyeball is actually a chain wrapped in sinew. As it's being dragged from the wall and broken, and the chain blows completely. And as the eyeball pops, you are going to make a DC. You're going to make me a Constitution saving throw with DC 20.
23.
Oh, it doesn't matter because Baylors are immune to poison damage.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. And immune to the poison condition. I just sit there, and with when it gets whipped to me, I just grab it with the 2 claws that I have and just rip it apart and just roar out.
We're gonna move to initiative 15, Minnis.
All right. I move 55 feet into the center of the cavern. Drell, no! No! I'm going to cast a bonus action to make my flail go on fire, and then I'm just going to attack the ground out of anger.
As you attack the ground out of anger, you see this Drell-shaped lump being rapidly dragged. As he's being pushed, as he's being dragged through the body.
I don't want to die. I don't want to be here.
Oh,
A little
man.
fat lump follows behind as Reginald is being dragged through as well because he was on his shoulder.
As I do 11 points of bludgeoning damage and 12 points of fire damage. I don't know if it's even doing anything. And then the second attack is doing 8 points of bludgeoning, 9 points of fire damage. And it's now burned, if it can be burned.
You notice that the fire immediately goes out.
Okay. Had to try.
As we move to initiative 15, Drell,
All right.
you are being sipped and zapped through these arteries as acid is spilling all over you, as you're being twisted and contorted. You are being moved at rapid speeds as you feel like you're being digested through a stomach. You're going to lose an action as you feel something pierce your body, almost like a sword through the gut. Make me a Constitution saving throw of a DC 20.
29.
Oh, baby.
You pass as you feel as if a limb was something sharp was trying to poke through you, but does not latch. You get to take half of 19 points of piercing damage here. As we're going to move to initiative 7, which is galore, and a screaming face erupts from the ground as the walls tremor. As you see that one of its eyes is now sealed, stitched shut with chains acting as the stitches, as one of the eyes is bulging out of its body. As you see Drell gets launched from its mouth.
Oh, God.
Drell, you're gonna take an additional 17 points of bludgeoning damage as you are hurled across the room as you are knocked up against the wall.
So I'm on the north side now.
Yes, you are on the north side of this cavern,
Okay.
somewhat near Minnis, as this face and single eye reveals itself.
No, this flesh cannot betray me. I am perfection. I am the ideal amalgamation of his image.
And it's going to make its attacks. Armos, you're going to take the 3 chain attacks as it sees you as the biggest threat right now.
You damn right he does.
That's a 23 to hit. It's a 19.
It's on the money.
And that's a 33. So all 3 of those are gonna hit. 53 points of force damage as all these chains whip and slap of you across the face as they burst from the ground, come from the walls and the ceiling. And then Minnis is gonna make me a dexterity saving throw with DC 20.
Well, maybe I'll finally pass it. No, I will not for the 14.
No. 30 points of acid damage.
Reaction. Fucking reaction.
Yeah.
So tiny ball of spit gets right in your eye.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna use my last second level spell slot. My Sid's like spin like a blender and get some of the acid off with like just fast motion. Ow!
At the end of its turn, you see a pudgy Reginald come out. As you move to initiative 20,
Armos bloodied from the last eye, gets slammed with 3 things of damage from the chains, and immediately cocks his head, locks eye with the enemy, and then he's like, I'm coming for that one, and flies right over to the amalgamation that's in front of him, and he's gonna do his multi-attack.
That's 1 whip and 1 sword.
It would be the fucking coolest thing if I crit right now. Okay, I'm gonna just roll a regular d20.
Yep.
And then offer, this will be the longsword. So if this crits, oh my god. Oh, it was fucking. Look, I'm just gonna put in general chat just for those listening. I'll explain it. It looked like it was gonna be a crit, but it turned out to be an 8. So
Damn. Hate when that happens.
I got so excited. Okay, so 22 to hit for the longsword. The other is a 20 to hit.
Both hit.
All right, so the longsword damage is going to be 24 slashing and 11 lightning, so a total of 35.
Armos, finish him.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I fly up and take my sword and kind of holding it from the back end of my hand and using my other hand to slam the sword into the last eyeball that's there as the sword just electrocutes and fries the what are we calling this? The amalgamation that's in front of me. He then takes his whip and lassos what he can from his tongue and rips the whole thing out, and then it plops right down in front of Drell. And then as Baylor sits there and walks away from it, he points at the tongue that's laying there and then gives Drell a thumbs up.
Drell returns one as he's laying on the ground.
Minnis looks around panting.
You see as the mouth begins to dribble and grabble as it's trying to deny the terms that are coming to be.
It's like, you cleave, but I create iron dog.
Can I say something to it as it's dying?
Sure.
Yeah, I walk up to it, and as it's slowly melting into the ground, I go, oh, look at that. All your flesh parts galore.
You've been sitting on that one since the beginning
Oh, you know I have. It's like your name, but it's a word. Ha! And I flip him off as he's getting, as he's going into the ground.
As you deliver that amazing pun, you get an inspiration die next
Yes!
Nice. There it is.
That's a
Drell.
good one. Oh my god.
Knocked prone onto the floor on the north side of the chained cavernous room, and Armos in Baylor form, breathing devilishly above him. As you deliver the final blow, the pupil of the eye explodes into a plume of acid and mucousy rot. The coagulated bile singes and burns like screaming oil. Everyone make me a dexterity saving throw of DC 20 as acid is spewed everywhere.
This is the one. This is the one I make. I have a plus 10.
Dirty 20.
27, my goodness.
Is this magical?
No,
This isn't a magical effect?
no, this is its body.
I got a 4.
You take 27 points of acid damage.
I'm actually using his wings as an umbrella, is how I escaped.
I was bathing in it, then I realized it wasn't poison. I'm like, ah.
That's great.
A moment of silence falls upon the slowly pulsating cavern, and then you notice something moving as the sloshing of bile begins to rise. More and more, higher and higher, you feel that the ground and the green cracks within the fleshy floor begin to overwhelm. The cavernous room rumbles and warbles as the flesh walls seizure in pain, as the broken mouth of Galore begins to mutter in tongues. In between the shrieks of pain, the chains of flesh begin to burst like overflooding pipes of acid and rot. Bile begins to flood the room. It will not be long until it fills.
I immediately drink a health potion as my action.
Given the current situation, there was an escape mechanic here. Oh, wait, no, it still is.
We have Armos flash out.
That's absolutely what I'm doing.
Cue the heavy metal as they jump on my back and I start flying. And we escape out of this place.
Here's what's gonna happen, because Armos is pretty fast. Armos, why don't you go ahead and role play on how what your next action is, as this room is beginning to fill with acid bile.
Yeah, Armos, as you turn around after bathing in the acid, you see me running towards you, cluck, 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 drinking a health potion as an action. And I'm like, oh, Demon Armos, I need uppies. I mean, pick me up. I'm an adult.
Well,
Baylor Baylor Armos is very like just raging, but then as soon as he says uppies, he kind of like is taken back, like, oh yeah, okay, absolutely. And he puts him on his shoulder like he would Reginald.
Drell, dash over here.
I'm coming. Don't forget me. And Drell runs over to him.
Wait, where's Reginald?
Right here. Pick me up. You just see a bunny that's like essentially just a giant ball with ears sticking out.
I pick up Reginald, who happens to be right next to me, and then fly and scoop up Drell as we start to ascend upwards.
I'm praying on his back. I'm like holding onto his demon hair. I'm praying. I'm like, dear my Lord, please protect us. Dear my Lord, please protect us. I know I'm flying on a demon. Please forgive me. Please protect us.
As you begin to run through the tunnels because they are incredibly tight, you see that all over the walls, everything's bursting like pipes. Acid is spewing out. You are actually going under like acidic waterfalls to try to make it to that cavernous edges. It is burning and singeing every part of you as you try to protect you. And you make it through these tight tunnels, stepping in acid, tripping over chains, trying to burst through as you slash them with their longsword, and trying to pull yourself further with your fiery whip. And you finally go to that 60-foot hole in diameter in the ceiling, the entrance cavern in which you came down in, as acid begins to flow, completely covering the floor, and you fly up. And you fly up, and you keep going as the tunnel begins to clench in on itself, as the blender of teeth that Drell took to descend downward close in tighter and tighter. Make it out into a tiny room. In comparison, as Baylor Armos, you perch yourself up onto the ledge as you have escaped this hole, as you hear the warm air, the acid spewing coming in from all angles. And then as you look in the hole, you see about halfway down, more than halfway down, just at the edge of your eyesight looking into this hole, you are now back in a maddening dungeon, and you see that the acid had filled up that much, just to the edge of your eyesight as you look down to the dark hole filled with bile. And then you hear some rumbles and gurgles as the mouth begins to close from the hole that you went down, and some more rumbling, and almost like a fart. Bink, 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 rolling onto the floor like a mix between glass and sludge is another one of these red orbs with green liquid slowly moving inside of it. And that is where we're going to end this week's session.
Man, what an episode. Whew. I don't know if we were going to make it out of there at the end.
Yeah, that was, thank goodness, almost changed.
Was
in
that?
thing.
Shout
That's all I'm
out,
saying.
shout out
for real, dude.
Armos, man.
Goodness.
The entire beginning was me getting my ass whooped, and the entire end is me redeeming myself. I didn't do anything. It's crazy.
We're going to talk about all the things of this Cebrix and the after show. And there's something, and I will give this out because I don't want this to be privy to only patrons. For people who are experienced with Cebrixes and the warp creature ability featured in this episode, yes, I changed the key component because he's not a boss monster of this campaign, albeit an important one. The special condition that you need to end it is a bit ridiculous for what I needed it for. I don't want that information to be locked behind a Patreon thing. I want that to be known that I did modify this stat block slightly for entertainment value and just an epic all around fight. So, well, we'll talk about it in the Patreon why I did it.
Awesome.
I wanted everyone to know.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
10-10.
A little bit of bad news for Almos. The Baylor cannot fit in the maddening dungeon.
Yeah.
He's just too big. So I don't know what you want to do about the true polymorph spell, but I think it served its purpose.
He's gonna give it a shot. Maybe he can think real skinny. I don't know. Maybe he can like lose some weight. Maybe he could just claw his way through. He's gonna give it a shot.
Oh, I forgot one last thing. I'm so sorry. As the orb spit out of the floor, I can't believe I forgot this key factor. You see that Reginald begins to ship and shape as all of the weight drops as he poof back into his normal form. And with that being said, does anybody have any comments, concerns, or recommendations?
Someone else has got to give one. I've been giving them.
I don't have a recommendation, but maybe I do. I don't know. I'll let you all be the judge of it. I got some. It's a food rec.
That's still a wreck.
I'm in New Jersey, so I don't know how anyone else would try this, but there's a place by me that sells New Haven style pizza.
Oh,
Now, I don't know how good. Now, apparently, New Haven style pizza is the best. I've never had it from New Haven, but I did try it, and it was good. Granted, this place is like a cheap, gimmicky place. It looks like the pizzeria from Toy Story, but it featured New Haven style pizza, and I tried it. I was like, wow, this is way better than I expected.
Oh, yeah.
Now so my suggestion is New Haven style pizza. Now take this with a grain of salt because I live in New Jersey and it was New Haven style pizza. So I don't know if that translates to like, hey, here's a New York slice in California. You know what I'm saying? So take it as
Can we play the clip of where he bashed New Haven pizza? I think
Right?
when we did
I was going to say, I
intro.
remember something like this.
Oh, I definitely have.
Can we run that back?
You don't even need
Right. Dan, go into the archives.
Yeah,
It's
let me
not
go
from New
search it.
Jersey.
I was going to say,
It's about the water.
In the water.
put it, yes.
I definitely said
oh
that.
my God.
I 100% said
Oh, yeah.
that.
We gotta
You
take you
understand,
to
it's the best water.
we gotta take you to Little Italy in New Haven and get you a proper slice.
I would love to. I would love
Yeah, that'll be a good time. We'll do a pizza tour. Everybody come to Connecticut. We'll do a pizza tour.
Right. And then I can take you to Nebraska for some real pizza.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not even the biggest pizza snob, and I don't know if I can get behind that.
It's probably as fresh, mozzarella as you're
Wait,
probably
hold
gonna
on.
get, but
Bro, we ordered fried galamad in a pizzeria in Nebraska, and they gave us fish sticks. They gave us fish sticks.
Was it? I don't even remember what those
Yeah.
were. Yeah.
Oh man.
I was sitting there waiting, like, where's the fried galamad at? And they were like, it's right there. I'm like, what?
I will say, our pizza might not be as good, but the meat and all the toppings on the pizza.
Oh,
Oh, for
100%.
sure. For sure.
Listen, when you slaughter the cow down the street, it's gonna be fresh, man. But getting fish in a landlocked state is a bit of
What kind of goodbye we giving this up?
a demonic goodbye.
Ooh, okay.
Goodbye.
yeah, see you later.
I'm the big fat demon.
Hey everyone, it's Tony, and a fun fact about May is that it's my birthday. What's a better way for a dungeon master to celebrate than to have a D&D party with all our patrons? That's right. The night was a lot of fun, and let's recap some of our best moments. Starting with the Shadow Smugglers, their gifts and birthday cards were absolute top tier, albeit somewhat mildly offensive, but let's go ahead and get into some of those. Starting first up is Benjamin Hayes with a beautiful card saying congrats on leveling up. And inside it says you've gained +1 wisdom, +1 charisma, and let's be honest, no dexterity. All right, but hey, at least you still roll better than your actual coordination. Oh, wonderful. And it came gifted with this custom miniature of themselves. Okay. And next up is Annie with a beautiful card saying you survived another year. Sure, you didn't thrive. You kind of stumbled with bad rolls, questionable decisions, and an inventory full of useless junk. But hey, survival counts. Congrats. Thanks, Annie. And with your wonderful gift of a massive bag of D12s, the most underused die in D&D. But then we got a strong gift from Julius Kendrick with a birthday card shaped like a mace, saying, you're like a legendary artifact. Rare, powerful, and honestly, a little outdated, slightly cursed, and probably way too complicated for anyone to actually use. Happy birthday, you magnificent mess! Oh! And it came with a giant life-size cardboard cutout of their character. Oh, this is beautiful, Julius. Thank you. And our last Shadow Smuggler, Reese, with a beautiful card saying, roll for birthday success. Even on a natural one, you're still the best at one thing. Turning critical failures into unforgettable stories. So congrats, I guess. And it came with a birthday sash saying Dungeon Master of my own life. Wow. And next up, we have the Bloodshard Bandits, who brought the entertainment to the party. Without them, I don't think it would have been as good as it was. And first up, we have Morgan Ulfield. I gotta say, your rendition of 500 miles on the karaoke box was amazing. I love the way you changed the phrase, I would walk 500 miles to, I would roll 500 natural ones and it was beautiful. And then Artemis, the balloon animals you made and all the balloon dice, they were awesome. And the balloon beholder you made was amazing until it popped and then it, flew around the room for 20 minutes. But that's okay, it made a funny sound. And Craig Dawnbringer, your fire show was to die for. The way you handled that chain and blade was underworldly. But please, leave your dog Ignis at home. He pooped on the rug. And Knockmock, the rogue scavenger hunt you set up was very, very fun and exciting, but please, you put back my AA batteries. I need those to use my TV. Thank you. Philip Buxton, the records you span on the DJ table were straight bumping. I love the way you rolled with it. D&D humor. Shade Greyfire, your Revenger impersonation was impeccable, but can you please return my lampshade? They're not helmets. Really appreciate it. Brandy Woodburner, I want to thank you for bringing your lovely family wine. It was very delicious. But next time, could you use a glass and not the fishbowl? Xanathar trusts me to watch his fish, and he's gonna be real mad when he finds out he drank some wine. And Sly, the murder mystery game you ran was a huge hit, but the person who was murdered is still in character and hasn't left my house. Sly, if you could, please tell him the game is over. He's starting to smell a little bit. And now we're gonna move on to the Sidgwick College alumni, where the games were just as good as the snacks they brought. David LaChance, thank you for bringing the chips and guac in the custom-made bowls that also doubled up as dice trays. Casey, the gelatinous jello was outstanding, but now I'm starting to realize that I don't think the dice you put in there were edible. But Patrick Wennerstrom, the flurry of blows punch was an absolute knockdown. Robert Chris, the dwarf bread pudding was very delicious and moist. Saint Chaos, I absolutely love the giant D8 soft serve pretzels with cockatrice cheese. Geo coming through with the giant barrel veil. Yeah, I know it was a keg of Bud Heavy, but the barrel veil sounds way cooler. And Aris Incendus, the piping hot tamales were hotter than the 9 hells themselves. I'm gonna be feeling it for the next week. Thank you. And now we gotta talk about the troublemakers of the party, Humbraya's heroes. Bjorn, Charcoal Darts, and Kezis, you owe me a new TV. No, the YouTube video static image of a dartboard doesn't mean you can use it as one. Man with Glass, John Carroll, and Johnny Tar. How was the cake? I wouldn't know since the 3 of you stole it and ate it. Good thing I had a backup. Jonathan Prieto, Rip Corden, and Taslin. Listen, I said I know you can look and hold at my summoned steed scroll, but I didn't think you were actually going to use it and take my giant crocodile mount for a joyride. I need him back. He gets scared when I'm not there. Heart, Iskar Storm, and Drown. Please, 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 please bring back my couch cushions. My mom is going to be real upset when she comes home and sees them gone. And that's all for this month's shoutouts. And thank you again for your love and support. And if you want to know how to join the party, head on over to our Patreon or look up DND404.com. Links down below. See ya.